Welcome to our 10-part series, The Great Baking Debate, where we untangle the mysteries of baking essentials through side-by-side comparisons. In our ring today, we have 10 duels lined up for you. Unbleached versus bleached flour, brown against white sugar, brown rice versus its white sibling, dairy milk squaring off with plant-based milk, the age-old debate of aluminum versus parchment paper, a head-to-head of baking powder and baking soda, aluminum trays pitted against glass ones, a shell showdown between white and brown eggs, the creamy contest of butter versus oil, and wrapping up with a grainy issue, instant against rolled oats. Our first chapter starts with an ingredient that's a staple in every kitchen, and the backbone of baking, flour. Not all flours, my friends, are created equal. We're pitting bleached flour against unbleached flour today. Bleached flour, as the name suggests, undergoes a chemical process to speed up aging, resulting in a softer, finer that's perfect for delicate pastries. Unbleached flour, on the other hand, ages naturally, retaining a denser texture and more of its original color, making it ideal for hearty goods like yeast breads. The taste debate between the two continues, with some bakers claiming a richer flavor with unbleached flour, while others argue it's all about texture and appearance. Here, no one flour is superior to the other. It all depends on the desired outcome of your bake. The choice lies in your hands, much like choosing between a classic novel and a thrilling mystery. Each has its charm, and the decision ultimately depends on your mood. Remember, when faced with the flour dilemma, it's all about the end result you desire. In the world of sweetness, do you know the difference between brown and white sugar? Let's delve into this sugary debate. Brown sugar and white sugar may seem similar at first glance, but they're quite different in many ways. First off, let's talk about taste. Brown sugar has a deep caramel-like flavor due to the presence of molasses, while white sugar has a pure, simple sweetness. Now, on to texture. Brown sugar is moist and clumpy, which can add a chewy texture to baked goods. On the other hand, white sugar is dry and granulated, leading to a crisper texture. When it comes to usage, brown sugar is ideal for recipes requiring a rich, complex sweetness, such as chocolate chip cookies or brownies. White sugar, being more neutral, is versatile and can be used in virtually any recipe. So, whether you're reaching for brown or white, remember that each has its unique qualities. Understanding sugar can truly sweeten your baking experience. Milk matters, but which one suits your baking needs? Dairy or plant-based? Let's dive right in. Dairy milk, the classic choice, lends a rich and creamy taste to your baked goods, with a texture that's undeniably smooth. It's a powerhouse of calcium and protein, making it a nutritious addition to your recipes. On the other side of the fence, we have plant-based milks. Almond, soy, oat, rice, the variety is immense. Each brings its own unique flavor profile to the table. For instance, almond milk imparts a nutty undertone, while oat milk offers a subtle sweetness. These plant-based alternatives are a fantastic choice for those following vegan or lactose-free diets. But it's not just about taste and dietary needs. The texture of your finished product can vary too. Plant-based milks tend to produce lighter, less dense baked goods, while dairy milk often results in a more substantial, rich texture. Remember, your choice of milk can make or break your baking. To wrap or to line, that is the question. As we delve into the world of baking, we often find ourselves faced with the aluminum versus parchment paper conundrum. Aluminum foil, known for its versatility, is a popular choice. It's great for wrapping food items for baking, grilling, or even freezing. It retains heat well, enabling even cooking. But on the flip side, it can sometimes alter the flavor of acidic foods, and it's not always the eco-friendliest option. Parchment paper, on the other hand, is a baker's best friend. It's non-stick, which means easy cleanup and no worries about your cookies adhering to the sheet. However, it's not suited for high-temperature cooking and can't be used to wrap foods tightly like foil. So, in the end, it's not about choosing one over the other, but knowing when to use each one. Choosing the right lining can save your baked goods from a sticky situation. Ever wondered why some recipes call for baking powder and others for baking soda? Well, let's delve into the science of baking for a moment. Baking soda, or sodium bicarbonate, is a base. When it reacts with an acid like vinegar, lemon juice, or buttermilk, it produces carbon dioxide gas, causing your baked goods to rise. On the other hand, baking powder is a mixture of baking soda, a dry acid, and a buffer to prevent the acid and base from reacting prematurely. When baking powder is combined with liquid, it releases carbon dioxide gases, causing the dough or batter to rise. So when should you use which? If your recipe includes acidic ingredients, baking soda is your go-to. But if there's no acid in sight, reach for the baking powder. It's all about balance in the chemical world of baking. So the next time your recipe calls for a leavening agent, you'll know exactly what to use. Aluminum or glass, which tray reigns supreme in the baking world? Let's dive right into it. First off, heat conduction. Aluminum trays are the speedsters of the baking world, heating up and cooling down with swift precision. This makes them perfect for recipes that require quick temperature changes. On the other hand, glass trays are the marathon runners, taking longer to heat up, but once hot, they stay hot, providing a consistent and even baking environment. Now let's talk cleaning. Aluminum trays with their sturdy metal build can usually take a good scrubbing. Glass trays, however, have the bonus of being dishwasher safe, making cleanup a breeze. Lastly, durability. Glass trays are heavy and run the risk of shattering if dropped. Aluminum trays, while lighter and more resilient to falls, can warp over time. So the verdict? It's a tie. Both have their strengths and weaknesses, and the choice ultimately depends on your baking needs and preferences. Choosing the right tray can be the difference between a well-baked good and a burnt disaster. White or brown, does the color of the egg really matter in baking? The age-old debate. White eggs versus brown eggs. You may wonder if one yields a fluffier cake or a richer custard, but let's crack this myth wide open. The color of an egg is determined by the breed of the hen. It's a bit like hair color in humans. It's all about genetics and has no impact on the quality, flavor, nutritional value, or baking properties of the egg. Here's the deal. A fresh egg is a good egg, whether it's white or brown. Freshness is what impacts your baking. A fresh egg has a bright yellow yolk that stands up tall, and the white part, or the albumin, is thick and stays close to the yolk. This makes for a well-structured baked good, regardless of the shell's color. So remember, it's not the color but the freshness of the egg that counts in baking. Butter or oil, which fat is the better choice for your baking needs? This question can puzzle even the most seasoned bakers. Let's unravel this mystery. Butter, with its rich, creamy flavor, can impart a savory depth to your baked goods that oil simply cannot match. It also creates a flakier texture in pastries and aids in browning, giving your treats that mouth-watering golden crust. On the other hand, oil, being liquid at room temperature, contributes to a moist, tender crumb in cakes and quick breads. It's also a healthier option, as most oils are lower in saturated fat and cholesterol compared to butter. However, it's not always a clear-cut choice. The fat you choose depends on the specific recipe and the flavor and texture you're aiming for. Sometimes a combination of both can give you the best of both worlds. Choosing the right fat can take your baking from good to great. So go ahead, experiment, and discover your perfect balance. In the world of oats, are you team instant or team rolled? Let's dive into the differences between these two popular choices. Instant oats are pre-cooked, dried, and then rolled. This makes them quick to prepare, just add hot water and voila. However, this process can sometimes result in a mushy texture, which might not be everyone's cup of tea. On the other hand, rolled oats, also known as old-fashioned oats, are made by steaming and rolling whole oat groats. They take a bit longer to cook than instant oats, but the result is a chewier, more robust texture that many people find satisfying. When it comes to nutritional value, both types of oats are champions. They're high in fiber and packed with essential nutrients. However, because rolled oats undergo less processing, they retain a bit more fiber and protein. So, no matter which oat you choose, remember, it's all about the texture and nutrition you prefer. So, we've tackled some of the most common baking dilemmas today. As we wrap up, let's remember that these are all tools in your baking arsenal. Each choice you make can subtly change the character of your final result. So, don't be afraid to experiment and discover your own preferences. Remember, is an art and you're the artist. So make your choices and create your masterpiece. If you've enjoyed our baking journey today and learned a thing or two, we'd love to have you join our community. Hit that subscribe button for more baking tips and tricks. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Your likes and support help us keep this channel going. Remember, every like and subscribe helps us bring more baking secrets to you. So let's continue this journey together as we unlock the art and science of baking. Thanks for watching and keep on baking.